the principal for a Christian school.
Oh, yeah.
How do you see the role of Christian education
Yeah.
or Christian school?
I think the right Christian education is wonderful. However, there are Christian schools that we send our children to. They're indoctrinated with a bad attitude.
Mm.
The world's evil, the world's bad. Instead of teaching, education, which is really important, they also teach their dogma and their philosophy. Paul says the letter kills and the spirit gives life. So we can send our precious little child to a Christian school and we're hoping they're going to breathe life into our child and give them a good education. And what ends up happening is they don't hear the grace and kindness and goodness of God. They hear law, 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 law. And then all of a sudden your kid ends up disliking the church, disliking God, because we wanted our children to be safe. Well, forgive me, there are some Christian schools that aren't safe. So what do you do? Well, number one, education is their parents' responsibility. And there are horrific public schools. There are some good public schools. If you can't afford a Christian school, what are you going to do? So you do your best you can, and we are not to relinquish our responsibility of teaching and training our children to a Christian school, to a public school. We need to invest our time and see what our kids are learning. And I've done this is when I wasn't happy, when my children were, before they were in Christian education, I would go to the teacher and go, help me understand why you're saying this. And, and I shared my viewpoint and most of the time, this is back many years ago now, they would listen. In today's culture, I don't think they listen very well. So they're good Christian schools, and if you can find a good Christian school, great. If you can afford a good Christian school, great. If you can't afford it, you can't find one, then you have to do the best you can with what God provides.